What's going on, YouTube? Sean here, and welcome to episode number 17 of the Godzilla Rewatch. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla vs. Biollante. That's right, this is the second film in the Heisei era, and it's personally the one I have the least connection to. I didn't see this film until years later, because it was never released on DVD until, I don't know, like 2013 or so? So that's when I finally got around. I saw the DVD in the store, and I'm like, oh my god, Godzilla vs. Biollante, I've never seen this one. This is the only Godzilla film I haven't seen. This is before 2014, obviously. I was so excited to put this thing on. I was like, finally, I get to watch this one. I love the cover art on the VHS that I saw online. I love some of the posters. I'm like, this is it. This is finally the last Godzilla movie that I have to see. So I put it on, I watched it, and it's my least favorite of the Heisei era. The problem with this one for me personally is that it really drags. It takes a long time to get going and pick up the pace. Yes, there's some creative elements. Yes, it introduced things into the second series, like we got Miki Saigusa, the sidekick, who would continue to play a role throughout the rest of the Heisei series. You got Biollante, who was an amazing looking kaiju. Like, design wise, this thing is insane. I've seen some behind the scenes stuff of them trying to operate this thing. It's a freaking nightmare to get this thing to do just a simple movement. But in terms of creativity, I give the plot an A. Like, I mean, it's an interesting idea. This guy who's been, like, it takes place right after the previous film. There's some fallout. There's some ramification of Godzilla's actions. You got these G cells that people are taking. They're trying to build this, like, anti-nuclear bacteria. They're trying to just, you got this Dr. Shigami or whatever who's studying plant life. You got his daughter who dies, and then he decides to take her cells, the cells of a plant, and Godzilla cells, and combine them all together, which forms Biollante, this creepy-looking plant monster that ends up fighting Godzilla. You got the Super X2 involved, which can go underwater now and fight Godzilla. You got the score, which feels very strange and out of place for this movie for the most part. I mean, you got some of the classic Ifukube themes, which I appreciate. But a lot of the score, I feel like I'm watching, like, some sort of, like, Star Wars space opera type movie with it. Because it goes, and I'm just like, it feels kind of out of place for a Godzilla movie. I don't know if it's just me, but some of the score, like, I mean, the Ifukube themes, they fit quite well, obviously, because it's Godzilla's theme. But this one, it just doesn't come together quite as well. There's also this Seradian agent who comes throughout the movie, and he just kills, like, everyone in sight. He just keeps getting the G cells. He pretty much dooms Japan entirely by bringing Godzilla out. And I'm like, wow, this guy just does not give a shit. He just wants his money, wants to get paid. Just going to do whatever it takes to do so, even if it means killing millions of people by unleashing Godzilla from Mount Midoriyama. Which, I know, yeah, this guy's a complete asshole. And he gets probably the funniest send-off. It's so hilarious, because he steps on, like, these electrical grids, so he pushes a button, and then he vaporizes, and then he's just gone like that. It's just like, he just, like, pops right out of frame. Like, every time I see that, I laugh. It's my favorite part of the movie. Because it's just like, he doesn't explode or burst out anywhere. He just snaps right out of the picture. I always found that to be quite hilarious. So, yes, this dude is, he dies. Godzilla comes into play, fights Biollante twice. First as, like, a giant rose, and then secondly, you get the end of it, and then they have a gory showdown where Godzilla gets stabbed right through the fucking hand, and it's quite brutal. The fight with Biollante is actually pretty cool. And Godzilla's design, I love the design of this one. It's one of my favorite designs of Godzilla, especially, like, in the face there. I mean, I guess he's been changed due to the volcano, but because they show stock footage from '85 at the start of the movie, and then they just cut to the new design of Godzilla, which is clearly a different design. But I'm just going to assume that spending time in the volcano changed his biology, and now he's free and unleashed, ready to unleash hell amongst the Japanese. So yeah, there's that. Like I said, this one I have the least amount of, like, nostalgic connection to. I didn't see this one until I was much older. Maybe if I saw it when I was younger, I might have more of a connection to it. But, like, even now, as I try to watch it, I'm like, boy, this one really takes a while to get going. Boy, this one really drags early on in the film. There's some cool stuff with Biollante, like, just going on and eating and killing people, I guess, early on in the film. So some elements are, like, kind of disturbing in a way that this doctor, like, uses his dead daughter's cells and fuses her with the life of the plants. You got Miki Saigusa and her psychic connection with Godzilla. So this is where we get psychics into play. I don't know, but like, it's just my least favorite of the second series. Like I said, I don't have too much of a connection. It takes a long time to get going personally for me. I appreciate it more now than when I first saw it. It's grown on me a bit more. But I'm just like, man, this one just feels long, even though it's like an hour and 44 minutes. And it's not the longest Godzilla film of all. But this one, it definitely does drag for me personally. And I feel like that's kind of the issues I have with it. Human cast, there's some interesting elements thrown in there. I think Biollante is a cool kaiju on her own. I appreciate this movie for getting a little bit more creative with its plotline. It just doesn't quite do it for me as much as some of the other ones. It's not a terrible Godzilla film. I just don't have as much of a connection to it, and like I said, it definitely does drag early on. Other elements, the battle sequences are fun. Godzilla's emergence from the volcano, that part, and when the serrating agent just snaps out of existence, basically, are my two favorite moments in the movie. I think it was cool, Godzilla emerging from the volcano. It's all badass and stuff, all these explosions behind him. I really, really like that stuff. I like those elements to it. And then the Super X2. The Super X2, it doesn't, the theme for it doesn't, I like the theme of the original Super X more. It feels like kind of the same deal, like there's not too much that's changed in between it. It's a little bit more powerful. It can go underwater now. But it's not as different as, say, like the Super X3, which is just kind of a playing with like the freezing tactic. So I prefer Super X. I mean, Super X 1 and 2 are kind of neck and neck for me. This one is like autopiloted, so it is like safer. But for me, like Super X 1 and 3 are just kind of the way to go. Super X 2 kind of falls in the middle. It doesn't do enough new for me personally, but it does. I guess it's cool. It's like a precursor to like what is to come. Like we got next they're gonna do like King Ghidorah, and then obviously like the Mecha King Ghidorah, and then they're gonna build their own Mecha Godzilla shortly afterwards. So I appreciate this about the second series. It has its own built-in like continuity. So I appreciate about that one. So like we have the series has its own set of continuity. There's a creative looking kaiju in this one, although the movie itself isn't my personal favorite. But I want to know your thoughts down below. What do you think of Godzilla versus Biollante? Is it one of your favorites? Is it one of your least favorites? Do you have the same feelings as me, or are your feelings completely different? Do you like Biollante? Do you like the pacing in this one? Let me know in the comment section down below. We can talk about this some more. Hit that bell for notifications. Subscribe to this channel. And thank you all so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow as we talk about one of my personal favorites of the Godzilla franchise and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Take care now. Bye-bye then. I'll see you next time.